What's up, Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. The Apple Watch is out, it's here, and there is plenty of follow-up to talk about, so let's get to the show. And you know, Apple was going to eventually show itself for the control freaks that they are after the Cooptown kids added a new rule and guideline that says they will reject any Apple Watch apps whose primary function is just telling time. Now, many developers complained to find their app had been rejected for just this reason, and right now, Apple only offers 10 watch faces, and one of them is Mickey Mouse. And I have no idea who would use that. So, let's just hope Apple changes their policy and opens it up to the devs eventually. Come on, Apple being open, hey, it could happen. Nah, probably not. Now, the big A is also poo-pooing fart apps on the Apple Watch. The developer of Fart Watch, that acted as a glorified whoopee cushion from your wrist, got the news from Apple with the following reasons, like, we noticed that your Apple Watch app is primarily a fart app. We do not accept fart apps on the Apple Watch. What the fart? And I never thought I'd read something like that in my lifetime, except I just did. All right, other issues around the Apple Watch are surfacing, and let's be honest, it was only a matter of time. Get it? Yeah. All right, well, some early adopters with lower arm tattoos are complaining that the Apple Watch isn't working properly because it might fool some of the sensors. By flashing infrared or green LED lights against the skin, the watch can detect your blood flow, but dark-colored skin could affect the accuracy of it, and I'm not even sure if a tan Brian from Hawaii will as well. Now, I'm still waiting to get one, yes, the one I actually paid for, but I will test it out on my tramp stamp as soon as I can for you. Now, users are also discovering that the stainless steel Apple Watch is actually scratching pretty easily. Think about the back of the early iPods and imagine that surface on your wrist now and this thing getting banged around all the time or hit by your keys or whatever. So, it's not a surprise, but it also sucks when you paid at least $549 for this guy. Now, you can remove most of the scratches with an inexpensive metal polish, but I don't want to hear people saying Scratchgate. Let's not start that just yet, okay? But other than looks, the Apple Sport Watch looks like it might be the better of the two after DisplayMate Technologies tested out both screens. They found that the scratch-resistant Sapphire significantly affected the optical performance of the Apple Watch OLED screen because it reflects twice as much ambient light compared to the Apple Watch Sports Ion X strengthened glass. That's the same as the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. The Sapphire cover also doesn't have as good of a viewing angle due to its higher optical depth compared to glass. See, that's just great to hear. You know, I might as well buy an Apple Watch Sport and just spray paint it gold already.
Hey Brian, somebody actually already did that. It's on a website called YouTube.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I am getting a little annoyed right now. I'm not gonna lie, but nothing makes me more mad than the fact that the Apple Watch Sport Band can also be accessorized thanks to the people at Watch Pops, who are making their own Crocs-like accessorizing gibbets for the Apple Watch. And don't ask me how I know they're called gibbets. Now, I know you thought you'd see a bad apple earlier in the show, but I was saving it for something horrible. And this right here deserves a bad apple. Come on, we're freaking putting charms on the Apple Watch now. All right, right after this thing came out, people were torture testing it in every way possible, and what a surprise, dropping a heavy frying pan crushes the screen. I can also assure you that it works in the shower. But real talk, right here, I can't help but point out how the pre-launch hype hasn't really even come close to matching the post-launch buzz. Are you really hearing people say, I love my Apple Watch, OMG, this is the greatest thing ever? Because I'm not. Now, I still don't have my personal one to use frequently, and try just picking up this thing and playing with it. It's easily Apple's most confusing interface out of the box, and it takes a lot more than just a few hours to get used to. But it also reinforces my point that this is anything close to a gotta have, and they still have a long ways to go to figure it out. Now, one thing Apple definitely knows is making that money. Apple announced their recent earnings for the first quarter of 2015, the second fiscal quarter, with $58 billion in revenue and a net quarterly profit of $13.6 billion. It was Apple's second best quarter ever, thanks to them selling 61 million iPhones and 4.56 million Macs, but iPad sales were down again for the third quarter in a row at 12.6 million, almost 4 million down from the previous year's quarter. Now, there's always some nuggets from these earnings, and Apple CEO Tim Cook still stood by the iPad, saying that it has a great future and that its long-term prospects are more important than individual 90-day clicks. Now, I'm still one of the many people who are still on board with the iPad, and all that talk that it's dead is just talk, because the reality is that people just don't need to upgrade it nearly as much. And looking down the road, Tim Cook also hinted at the earnings call that Apple could be part of a change in the media landscape. HBO Now's subscription service on the Apple TV has been a success after it accounted for almost 1% of all internet traffic on a Sunday night recently, only 1 week after its launch. Now, during the earnings call, Cook said he sees major changes in media coming on the horizon, and he admitted to Wall Street analysts that Apple could play a part in those changes. So, I shouldn't have to spell out this one, but he's talking about the upcoming new Apple TV. It's spelled APPLETV. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. You can email me at theapplebyte@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong, and I'll answer whenever I can. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all next time for another Bite of the Apple.